Hello, welcome to Advance, the UCSF system that supports the academic review process. In this module, I'll demonstrate some useful tools in Microsoft Word that you can use to modify the CV and NIH Biosketch exported from Advance. I'll show you how to change fonts, modify tables that are common in the exported documents, eliminate those tables, add a hanging indent, and use a Find and Replace feature so that you can change some text within your documents. There are a number of reasons Advance drops data into a pre-formatted Word document. The most important and most obvious of these is that the template can take advantage of word wrap within cells of a table. Nonetheless, it's relatively easy to remove tables and add formatting not included in the export and replace text within the exported document. For these examples, I'll work with the NIH Biosketch we've just created. So the first example is changing fonts. In a Biosketch, you're not going to want to change fonts, but you may want to do this in your CV. If you click Control A or Command A on a Macintosh, it highlights the entire document. You can change the font to Calibri or whatever you want. Make it larger or smaller. It's very straightforward. We'll go back to the way it was. As I mentioned, we've used tables because they word wrap within a cell, but you may want the cells to be wider or narrower depending upon the text. Before we begin this process, I want to point out two features of Word that I find useful. First, turn on the paragraph marks. What this does is it allows you to see where paragraphs and tabs exist. And second, turn on the grid lines. Do this by clicking into any of the tables on the document. Click the Layout menu and click View Grid Lines. Now you can see where the cells of each table are in the document. Now activate the ruler on your version of Word if it isn't already active. In order to do this, just click the View and then click the Ruler checkbox. On mine, the ruler is already active. Now I'm going to put my cursor into a table that I want to change. So for example, the Service to Professional Organizations, I think that this last field should show up wider. So I'm going to go ahead and select the entire table by clicking the small icon in the upper left, and then I'm going to position my cursor over these bars. These bars on the ruler are the things that are defining where the cells begin and end. So I'll position my cursor here and I'll push it over a little bit, make this a little bit wider. Okay, now I think it looks better. It may take you a few tries to see how this feature of Word functions, but once you've got it, you'll see how simple it is to work with the table. Now you may decide to eliminate a table altogether. I wouldn't advise it on a table where you're seeing word wrap happening. But in the Biosketch, the peer-reviewed publications also are exported into a table, and you may want to remove that table. To do that, simply position your cursor over the little icon that appears in the upper left of the table. This may only appear if you've got your cursor over the table. And then go to the Layout menu and click Convert to Text. It will automatically assign what it thinks is the right conversion and go ahead and take that conversion. And now you can see that the table has disappeared and has been replaced by paragraph marks. Now you may want to reformat this entire section so that it has a hanging indent and the 1, 2, 3 appear to the left of the text. In order to do that, simply select the entire section and then move the indent marks that are on the ruler. So you may want to play with this a little bit also. So now you can see if I turn off the paragraph marks that we've got a hanging indent. A final feature of Word that I find helpful is the Find Replace feature. Using this feature, you can quickly change the format of your name from plain to bold or bold underline, or you can replace various items within the document. In order to activate this feature, click Control-H. You can see that I've already tried this feature out, but what I'd like you to do now is click on the More button, and you can see there's a Format button at the bottom. So I've typed Sally's name and initials into the Find What box, and I've typed her name and initials also into the Replace with What box. If I place my cursor in that box, click on Format, Font, then I can select Bold, or I can select Bold Italic. Then I can use the Replace button. The system will find each version of her name and replace it, and it'll show you as you're going through. You may want to close the bottom of this box so you have more viewable space. So it's just going to go through and replace her name with the bold italics version of her name. The reason I'm doing this one at a time and I'm not clicking the Replace All button is because I'm not sure whether her name might appear elsewhere that I don't want to have bold italics. Okay, it's finished. This feature can also be used to replace, for example, if I turn the paragraphs back on, if I want to replace these spaces with a tab, I can do that using this feature as well. This is another one of these features that the more you use it, the more useful it will become and the easier it will be for you to use. Remember, ask for help before you get frustrated. Contact the person named at the bottom of your advanced pages. Send an email to advanceproject@ucsf.edu, or click the blue question mark button to get to the help documents. It's easier than it seems. Good luck.